Hello, this is Teslan, and I'm here in Erlenberg Assault Offense in my VK2801 for the Lighthouse series, What Would You Do? Volume 2. And in this series, I'll stop the film several times during the battle and ask you, if you were in this situation, if you were driving my tank, what course of action would you take? And then I will tell you what I decided to do and why I decided to do that. So, in this battle, 4 scouts on each side. They have 2 arties, we have 3. And overall, pretty evenly matched teams, tank-wise. They have a AMEX CDC platoon that I'm going to want to keep track of. And the TDs, I always want to try to figure out where they're at, just because they can bang on me pretty hard. I'm going to go over to the east side of the map in the beginning.
Let's get this show on the road.
And as always, I'm going to want to watch and see who comes this way, because it makes a huge impact on what I can get away with doing over here. So okay, we have the T-71 coming this way, the AMX 50-100, and the 59-16. Everyone else looks like they're headed in the opposite direction. We already see the T-37 on the enemy side has come down into the middle of the map. The Leopard's coming down. So, I'm not asking what you're going to do right now. I'm asking, based on how we're deploying, how are you going to play this side of the map? And if anybody said, well, wait a second, I don't know yet because we haven't seen which enemy tanks came this way, then awesome answer. You're way ahead of even me. Because we really don't know. Maybe nobody will come this way and we'll get to do more than we thought. But if we have a normal deployment on the enemy team, they are going to outnumber us on this side. So I'm preparing myself not to play too aggressive. I'm going to set up and wait and see if a scout comes down the 0 line up onto the hill to try to spot. And my plan right now is that I'm probably going to have to just skirmish the enemy forces, try to keep them engaged on this side of the map, don't let them get past us to the south, and hopefully keep them tied up and prevent them from reacting to what's going on the other side of the map, where I'm hoping we'll have a numerical advantage and be able to turn that into a real solid push. So I'll just set up here and wait to see if any scouts come down the 0 line. See if I can shoot at the T-37, but he's behind a building right there, so no shot. And here comes the other T-37 down the 0 line. Yay. If he gets up here where I have a shot at him, I'll try to scare him out of there. I don't want him up on that hill. It's a great place to spot from if people leave you there. There's the LTTB sitting up on the ridge. The CDC platoon came this way. So, as of right now, we're outnumbered. If we had a heavy that was hard to damage, maybe a different story, but the heavy we have over here isn't really much of a fortress. And I kind of rushed my shot there and shot behind the T-37, but as long as he keeps backing up, that's fine. One of the CDCs is moving down the middle already. So I'm going to have to set up and just, well, it looks like somebody just shot him from the side, and I think that's made him slow down. Yeah, there for a moment it looked like he was coming straight to us. Oh my gosh. IS-3. There's IS-3 coming. At least one of the CDCs is coming. I have the LTTB and the T-37 over in the middle, potentially able to, or definitely able to move to where they can snipe me, what would you do? And what I'm looking at right now is the 5916 isn't going to be much help at all right now. The 5100 doesn't have the armor to go in just a brawl with this IS-3, especially if the CDC moves south and his platoon mate moves south. We are going to get overrun. So what I have to do right now is drop back and then decide, do I want to run to the other side of the map, or do I want to stay here and fight based on what it looks like after I get over this next little ridge. So I'm going to run around the corner here. Hopefully the 5100 drops back too. The one CDC is still up north. That's a mistake on his part. He should have joined the rush to their south, and he didn't. They could have just wiped us out if they all three came. So I'm moving over to the side in case I want to escape across the map, but the IS-3 is coming by himself right now. Don't know where his CDC friend is, but he's not continuing to push south. It's bad enough the one CDC stayed way north, but the CDC that was moving down into the middle stopped. So now we momentarily have a 3-on-1 against the IS-3, so I need to get back in close and hopefully wear this guy down to nothing before the CDCs join the fight. I'm going to hold my shot until I get to shooting to his side. Get a track on him. He's all but dead right now. Now the one CDC is finally looking like he wants to join the fight, which it's too late now. This guy's almost dead. Crossover, keep getting shot. There. IS-3 goes. Both CDCs are down here now. Like I said, way too late for them. Doing okay so far. Now there's the E8 down here. Uh-oh. Here we go. AMX CDC, AMX CDC, M4A3E8 versus me. What would you do? Now maybe some of you are going to answer the same thing I'm doing, but I bet not many of you do. Because I'm going to attack. I'm not attacking who you think I am. I'm not attacking either the CDCs or the E8. Here's what I'm looking at. The T-37 and the LTTB are moving to the south down the middle. Don't know if they know if the Ferdinand's sitting there or not. I think they're planning on just blasting by them and finding our artillery. Either way, they're moving to the south. The way these guys are set up, they're leaving me an opening to go right up the side of this hill and cut back and end up here. I already know where the GW Tiger is. Don't know where the M44 is. I'm guessing maybe A0. Don't know. But my plan is to use this hole they've nicely given me, run up here, and take out the artillery. I know where all the mediums are. I know where both lights are. And I know where the heavy and the TD is and the 1RD. I know where everybody but the M44 is, and he's no threat to my sprint north. So, they gave me a gap. Unless I get some kind of crippling shot from one of the mediums, I am out of here and I am headed north to attack. Here's the critical one right here. He shoots me. He hurt my radio man. I could care less. I really don't care about my radio man. Sorry, dude, but I don't need you right now. I run the gap. I don't want the LTTB to be able to track my progress north, so I'm going to cut back across and just hope I can evade any shots they throw at me. Probably would have been better to stay on the other side, but I had to pick. Either those two tanks are going to come after me on the left side or the right side. And I guess they'd come left and they didn't. So now I'm in the clear. They don't have any shots on me anymore. The E8's certainly not rushing north to his Artie's aid because he's too slow. The CDC, you can see, is continuing to go south, so I get to go molest the Artie here. M44 is not this way. He's going to be over there in the river, I bet, right by his friend. They got too confident, overextended, and they let me run right by them. Now, there's the artillery. Which one are you going to shoot first? And this is really a gimme. Doesn't matter which one you pick. There's no right or wrong answer here. I haven't seen either one of them fire, so I don't know which one's more of a threat. Neither of them are pointed at me. They haven't spotted me yet. So if I had known one of them had recently fired, I would have saved him for second and shot the one who hadn't fired first. But since I don't know, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to shoot the M44 first personally because it's a more difficult shot. It's part of his tank's concealed. And so I want to be able to set up an aim while he has no idea I'm here. Because once I shoot the first time, if they're paying attention, the other guy may try to rotate on me, or the M44 just pulls forward a little bit and he almost completely hides his tank from me. So I'm going to shoot him first. But he doesn't. He lights me up, but it's too late. He never moves. This guy's dead. Artie's gone. Now, one last question. They have 3 tanks left. We have 6. Should I cap or should I kill? I am choosing to go help kill for this reason. As I move north, you saw that the LTTB had almost twice as many hit points as I do. So he is a fast tank. If I go to cap, most likely he's going to turn north, and he's not going to be like most people who try to break up cap here where they try to sneak in and be fancy. He's just going to come right at me because his rate of fire, he can take me out. 3 shots, maybe 2, probably 2 shots from him, and I'm dead. I'm only going to get 1 shot at him, and unless I get a big blast, he kills me. So it's not in my best interest to try to cap right now because there's a tank that can react to me quickly enough to take me out. So I'm going to go south and see if I can help finish off these last 3 tanks. If it had all been heavies or slow TDs, I probably would have capped and said, hey, you're not going to make it north fast enough to hurt me. But since there's a light and a light with more hit points than me, then not a good idea. I can't do 537 to him in 1 shot unless I get a fire. And he only takes 2 shots to kill me. That just wasn't a winning proposition for me. So I know he's not paying attention to me. Hopefully I can come up here and put a hurt on him. So I probably shot his gunner or loader. Somehow I bounced the front of him. That sucked. Obviously I did something to him to keep him from firing quickly. Okay, I'm going to come around the corner and shoot, hopefully kill him. He hit me. Uh-oh, now watch what happens here. Did you see it? Do you know who killed me? I killed me. This is one of the things you have to pay attention to with HE. It has a splash radius. And if you don't know what that is, HE causes damage purely through its explosive power. That's what HE means, high explosive. They aren't kidding. And one of the features of a high explosive round is it has an area of attack. If you want to think in RPG terms, it's an area of attack spell. It's not a big area. Arty can be fairly big, but for me it's only a few meters. But it's enough that if I'm close into a tank that I shoot, the area of attack radius, it doesn't care whether you're friendly or foe. If that explosion blast hits you, it's going to cause damage. So in this case, I only had a few hit points left, and the explosive force was enough to take me out. I must have been right on the edge of it, but either way, it ends the fight, and I get my last kill. Would have been nice to stay alive, but oh well. Just something to keep in mind though, because when you're in a fight where it hasn't been decided yet, and you do that, that could cause you to lose a fight. You really want to back off probably 3 or 4 meters at least before you fire in a situation like that when you're extremely low hit points, when you're firing a derp weapon, because you will kill yourself sometimes. Just something to be aware of. In this case it didn't matter because he was the last guy. So in the overall, I got 2,251 XP, had 1 spot, 1,864 spotting damage, 3 kills, and 2,268 damage. We were somewhat limited in what we could do because we only had a few tanks come to the east, and most of those were lights, and a heavy who doesn't have a lot of armor, so he can't really go in and brawl, especially when an IS-3 shows up. So we just played to hold the ground, and we gave ground, but we kind of held it in the end as we dropped back. And for some reason their CDCs didn't press the attack with their heavy, which made no sense. You think they would have, but they didn't. So it allowed us to get that IS-3 1-on-3 for enough of time to have him dead before the CDCs finally got their act together and tried to help him out. However, with the E8 moving in, the AMX 5100 died, and it left me 1-on-3. And a lot of people probably would have decided just to beat feet and get back over on the other side of the map. But because I pay attention to the mini-map and I do my quick counts, I knew where every enemy tank was except the one artillery, and I probably knew where he was, just general location. And I saw that the lights were moving south. Just the way the mediums ended up was they had left me a gap to run around the side of the hill and sprint to the north. So you have to remain ever vigilant for opportunities like that and turn what looked like a fatal situation for me into an attack on their artillery. Now I did end up having to evade a couple shots, I think 3 shots by them, but hey, that's the way it goes. You can't ever be 100% safe in this game because it's all about shooting at each other. You try to put the odds as much as you can in your favor and go with it. There was no way I was going to stay there and win a shootout with 3 of those tanks shooting at me. So if I tried to run to the south, who knows what would have happened. But when you can be aggressive, be aggressive. That's what wins battles. Especially, we're on offense. We have to claim the north or kill everybody. I wasn't going to kill everybody staying south. And I could go up and kill the artillery and give us numerical advantage. And it worked out great. The CDC stayed south, didn't even chase me north. I didn't really see what happened to the E8. I guess he stayed south too, because he's too slow to chase me. Kill the arty. Then it's a matter of cap or kill. And like I said, the LTTB had almost twice as many hit points as me. He has a much higher rate of fire than me, so it would have been a losing proposition for me to cap. So I went down and tried to kill him. I did kill him, but I got a little bit too close on my last shot and took myself out as well. So I got 5 kills in the fight, or 4 kills in the fight really, but one of them was me. So whenever you see an opportunity to be aggressive and change a really bad situation into a good one, it's not something where you can hesitate. If you hesitate, it's lost. You just have to say, I know they're going to get a shot at me, but this is the best thing I can do at this time, because if I manage to absorb that one shot and not get tracked or have my driver or commander die, I'm out of here and I can make good things happen. Be ready to pounce on opportunities when they present themselves. From Erlenberg Assault Offense, turning a bad situation into a good one. Happy hunting.